We finally have the Tucker complete and finished. I only have a charger to sort out, and that's a small detail. Hopefully that will arrive this week. But the Tucker is complete and fully working now. It arrived as a standard die-cast model, and it's had a few very minor superficial upgrades or attention. I mean, I've done things like painted the grills or the recesses in the grills, which give it a bit more shadow. That sort of thing that you can see, and just painted door handles chrome instead of the blue they wear. And of course, done a bit of work on the actual blue paint to take some of the toyness off of it, but nothing too dramatic or major with any of that. If anyone were to look inside, they'd find the window winders were now chrome as well, but that's a minor detail. All the rest of the work has been on the motorization of it, as we've already covered, and I've worked quite hard to try and fit everything mechanical and electrical inside without intruding into the cockpit at all, and we've achieved that. You can just see the back edge of the servo if you look directly under the windscreen, but it's not actually invading the space. But everything else we have kept out of the cockpit, which is the nice thing. On the underside, up here, this is the on-off switch, and the blue dot is off, the red dot is on, and it's a sliding switch. It's switched on at the moment. And on this underside is the charging socket, and just in case there's any confusion, the red denotes the positive and the blue denotes the negative, just so there's no confusion. And that's what it looks like from the underside. And the servo is there, painted black, and you can see the steering arm coming forward, and there's a drag link there which isn't showing up very well between the steering arm and the track rod there, and that's what does the steering. That's what does the magic. Now if you look in there, you will see an orange glow. That is the receiver beneath the seats. And we kind of need to see some indicator from the receiver, because that tells us what's going on, whether it's bound, whether it's receiving a signal, all sorts. So it's important to be able to see that from diagnostics, but having it glow through the seat is sort of easier. Well, it's more satisfying than having a bright LED running through. The other half of this is a transmitter. Now this is a jumper transmitter, and this runs devolution software. Now the devolution software I really like, because not only does it mean you can I forget how many vehicles or aircraft you can run off this. I think it's about 30 or something. But you can also change the attributes. Now, for instance, channel 4, the rudder, in some instances, like for instance the mechanical horse I've done, I had to rig it so the steering servo, operated the wrong way round, and there was no escape. But this, you can reverse the action of the controller, which is so useful. So there's loads and loads of parameters you can change, and one of the things I commonly use is the speed. Now, these radio control, usually you throw the stick over and instantly the steering goes over. Now this I have programmed so that if I this one, the steering's on this. If I throw the stick over here, the steering actually moves a lot slower. Now I can program it to move really slowly, but it's difficult to drive like that. But this sort of delay works terribly well. And same with the speed. The speed's on channel 3. And if I go into that, you can see I've set the speed at 1. So if I now operate it, and I'll just put the speed up to full. Let's see if I can get both the car and that in shot. If I put it up to full, instead of running away like a rabbit, it accelerates slowly. So you can set inertia with this. This is why we've got a decent transmitter. Now, the brake lights work fine. There you go. And in either direction, like that. So this inertia works very well. If you don't want the inertia, you can just go into the menu for channels 3 and 4 and set the speed to 0, and all the inertia comes off. I personally like it, and you can see it makes it very realistic. Now, of course, the other thing is, whoops, I'll pick that up later. We've got suspension on this, and this means all wheels stay on the ground. It's all very well driving around on a smooth granite surface like this, but all roads are a bit bumpy, and this will cope with it. So this is the Tucker, and it's gone really very well indeed. I'm very pleased with it as far as a conversion goes. It's gone very nicely indeed. So there we go, and just turn it off by that switch there and turn the transmitter off. So we should always turn the thing off. The battery that's in there is a 450 milliamp battery. That should be good for probably 3 hours running, something of that order. Yeah, so that's it really.